Welcome to ICC UAE Trade Connect. And in this Trade Connect broadcast, we are happy to brief you on the ICC Trade Register Report, Global Risks in Trade Finance. Now, 2020 was never going to be a good year for global trade. Start 2020, the forecasts were already pessimistic. The US-China trade war had taken a break. Phase 1 saw a slowdown in the damage being done to trade, but that's about all. Recently, the World Trade Organization forecast that in the current COVID-19 environment, we could see global trade decline by 13% in 2020. If COVID-19 persists in the medium term, this drop could be to the order of 32%. A drop of 32%, decline of 32%, that's pretty much a collapse of 32% in trade. So in the context of this negative environment, what has the ICC Trade Register Report to offer to you? The ICC Trade Register Report provides an analysis on market trends in trade finance products, supply chain finance products, and export finance products. The Trade Register Report contains a huge amount of granular data on trends in trade. The Trade Register project is done in partnership between Global Credit Data, the Boston Consulting Group, and a panel of 22 banks. A panel of 22 banks providing data on a consistent, structured means to the Trade Register Report over a significant period of time. The data set contained in the Trade Register Report is impressive. When we look at the data set in the report, we see that it covers 32 million transactions in total and nearly 15 trillion in US dollar terms in terms of exposure. When you take that figure and you compare it to global trade, again, it is very impressive. We see that the data set is actually covering 28% of trade finance products globally, and that works out at approximately 11% of global trade flows. Impressive indeed. Now, the ICC recommends that you use this Trade Register report and its data for research, so you can build your own baseline for comparative purposes in terms of risk profiling, risk management, and, if I may recommend, this report is very useful for dialogue with other stakeholders in global trade, and in particular, I want to mention in dialogue with the regulators for international banking and in international trade finance. As you can imagine, this report is technical in nature, but it is well written, easy to understand, and I really like the fact that in this report it has very clear definitions in context of the data provided within the report. For trade finance products, we have clear definitions: import letters of credit, export letters of credit, confirmed letters of credit, loans for export, loans for import, performance guarantees, standbys, and of course supply chain finance and payable finance definitions. Very, very useful indeed. In terms of the export finance side, again we have definitions, and these definitions in terms of the asset classes very, very useful. Sovereign, FI, financial institution, corporate, and of course specialized in terms of asset classes for export finance. With the ICC Trade Register Report, there are many takeaways you will take away when you download, read, analyze and apply the data inside. But a few key messages that I would like to share with you from the ICC Trade Register Report. The ICC Trade Register Report underlines once again the low risk nature and profile of trade, export finance and supply chain finance products based on the trade cycle of an exporter and an importer. The low risk profile when compared to regular banking, general banking, conventional banking. However, we must realize that in the COVID-19 environment right now, we can expect exposures to increase, risk profiles to increase, and of course 2020 we can expect an increase in default. One or two more specific takeaways from the report which are covered in detail within the report, so please read the report. Import letters of credit saw an increase in defaults when you look at them from exposures and transactions. We also saw an increase in defaults under export finance and in particular in the category in the corporate asset class. The Trade Register report is for you to read and for you to share, provided free of charge by the ICC. So ICC UAE and ICC Trade Connect is very happy to brief you on the ICC Trade Register Report. The Trade Register Report, an amazing aid for trade. ICC UAE and the United Arab Emirates itself is committed to supporting open trade and to supporting and enhancing the multilateral trading system and the environment. So thank you to our members of ICC UAE. If you are not yet a member, we look forward to welcoming you as members of the ICC, the World Business Organization. ICC, the International Connected Community.
ICC UAE makes it possible. Founded in 1919, our mission is to make business work for everyone, every day, everywhere. The International Chamber of Commerce, United Arab Emirates.